Hey, how you doing? This is your painter in residence here, M. Francis McCarthy, and the painting I'm bringing you today is called Forest Path. It's a 16 by 24, and this is the sped up version. I am currently uploading the full-length version, and I think it's 3.5 or 4 hours or something like that. So this video is for those of you that just kind of want to see the whole thing happen, but it's sped up way faster than YouTube will let you speed things up. I think they'll let you go like twice or maybe three times. Anyway, so some points of interest on this painting. First of all, I have done it before. It's on the channel. It's called Forest Path. You'll see it as an 8 by 12. Um, and that was a very successful painting, which I sold recently. And funny enough, I'd had it in my mind that I wanted to do it as a larger painting. It was actually 1/4 the size of this, so it was an 8 by 12. Another interesting little fact is that the 16 by 24 and 8 by 12 are both a golden mean proportions, and that is significant because, say, if you visualize this from our left moving over as a square, and then divided that in half and added that on, you would get the golden mean proportions. So the golden mean is everywhere in nature, and it's nice because it's sort of panoramic, but it's not actually full panoramic. I often work in panoramic, and when I worked in panoramic sort of formats, that's like two squares side by side, so quite a bit longer. Anyway, this painting went real well. It was designed to go well, I have to say, because the previous large one I did was the I think it's called Golden Path or something like that. You can find it on the channel. It's not that far in, and I was super stoked with that, super happy with it. And so I thought, well, best to do something in a similar vein because, as I'd mentioned on a couple other videos recently, I just want to build on some successes with these larger paintings and get some confidence. Now, I've done quite a few large paintings, maybe 20, 30. It's no secret that I really favor small sizes. But the issue with that, of course, is that people come in, they're looking for something into my studio gallery. They're looking for something large. I've had it happen. People come in with a tape measure, looking for something like they can put over a sofa or a mantle, and I've had some things, but not enough. And so this year, the next 6 months of this year and into next year, I intend to do quite a few large ones. In fact, I started one this week, and that's like a 14 by 20. And the drawing was very extensive. I've recorded it for you, of course, but uh, I felt like I should really wait for that because I had a feeling like it might delaminate on me. So I don't know. Last time I did the scene, it did, and that was with ivory black. This time I did that drawing with black spinel. Um, Other interesting facts about this painting is that it's pivoting off of the green-purple thing. I do that a lot, and green and purple go together really, really well. I think that sort of color scheme is called analogous, but I could be wrong. I'm self-taught. What can I say? I probably would have dozed at that point in the professor's lecture anyway. But I do know you can always throw greens into purples and purples into greens and vice versa. They get on like a house on fire. And then, of course, it's a yellow sort of sky, which is something I like to do a lot. And I'm really stoked with the way this painting has turned out. I've been sitting there looking at it for a few days in the studio and just letting it good and dry before I hit it with a coat of liquid. I probably will be going in and doing another finishing pass, but I was quite happy with the where it was, where it ended up. If someone come in and wanted to buy it at that state, at the state I'm sharing it with you, I probably would have gone for it. So, oh, please, if you enjoy my channel, tip on over to my website and check it out. I haven't really maintained the blog. The blog was basically just a resting place for the YouTube videos. So, but I have a store there, and check it out. Also, a big fat donation page. So if you really getting some value out of this channel and my videos, buy me a cup of coffee if you like. Also, I have to say, I just recently sent a video out to people that have supported me with donations or purchasing paintings through my store. That was a full lesson of me working with a student in my studio painting clouds. And now that's the kind of thing I would do if I had a membership on this channel. I just don't feel like there would be enough interest to justify going for a membership. But if you're getting value, pay it forward and help me out. And I certainly try and help out anyone that gives me support, because I really appreciate it. I know we all have expenses, and it's been real tough for people, a lot of people, since the pandemic, and whatever. And if all you can do is just click that like button and leave me a comment that you're digging the channel and digging the video, that's good too. Appreciate that. Yeah, so this video is going to be about 10 minutes, and I guess the other thing I want to talk about is this is one of the first paintings I've done on the dry process hardboard, and I really, really enjoyed it. That color that you see is the actual color of the dry process hardboard. And what I did to retain that color and yet still have a gessoed surface was I used a transparent gesso. Now I have a video on my channel. I think if you just put in a board prep, it should come up. There's one with textured board prep, but there's also another one with smooth board prep. And what I do there is I introduce some acrylic tones into the transparent gesso and roll that over regular MDF, which is quite a bit lighter than this dry process hardboard. In fact, the dry process hardboard is a bit darker than the wet process hardboard. Hardboard, by the way, and if you're in the U.S., is usually referred to as Masonite. There's two types. There's one type that the wet process is very rough on one side, like a kind of textured pattern, little squares, and then smooth on the other. And then the dry process is smooth on two sides. One side is really a slick surface. That's the surface I like to paint on. And the other side you probably could paint on as well, I think. It's a little rougher and a little less. It's like the surface I like is almost like it's polished, and the other side is a lot coarser. But I believe you could paint on either side. I did notice a slight, not so much warping as a little bit of bowing in the boards I prepped today, but certainly a handleable amount. And so what is the difference between hardboard and MDF, you might ask? And the difference is a little bit of an interruption there. Dinner's just about ready, but we'll finish up with you and then we'll run through this video. I have the really large one uploading, but it'll take hours and hours to upload, so I'll set this to upload as well. And think of this video as the when you have someone moving a house on the highway, there's always a pickup truck in front that says wide load ahead or wide load behind, or maybe there's one of each. Either way, we're just doing one ahead that says wide load. And I do recommend if you watch the full length, heck of a lot more pointers, and it's all happening in real time. And I can't say that there's insights spinning out every minute, but definitely sharing stuff as I go. And yeah, there you have it. And don't think like this video that I'm sharing with real supporters of the channel. A lot of the information in that video, the cool thing about it is I'm working with a student live in my studio, so it's really very much me teaching a person in real life. But almost every bit of information that I imparted to her, I've imparted on this channel myriad times over. So absolutely free. So you can peruse any and all of these videos at your leisure, and you can shoot me an email and ask me a question, or ask me a question in the comments. I'm just naturally pretty helpful, and I naturally enjoy teaching and sharing what I know. Information that in some cases has been very hard won over years of experience. But one thing I'd noticed is that you could tell someone what to do, and you could even show them what to do, but if they didn't have to work 5-6 years to figure it out on their own, a lot of time it just rolls right off. Rolls right off them like water off a duck's back. Either way, though, the way I see it, and the way I learn, and the way I teach, is that I'm very much into insights. So just one or two insights could dramatically improve your work, on top of the fact that you're going to need to do a lot of practicing to get good. And it can be very frustrating in the early part of your journey as a painter, which can go on for years and years. It's not an easy task to accomplish. I have to say that acquiring mastery of landscape painting is very similar to, say, learning how to master an instrument like piano or guitar. I mean, it's really not that easy. That said, just like piano or guitar, you can learn a few things and have a good time, at almost any level. So this channel is not just targeted towards people that are going to go pro. If you're just, in fact, funny enough, as I was looking for people to email this link today, I was reminded of all the people that have sent me paintings and shared their paintings and their process with me over the years. And well, I didn't go that far back. I went back about to 2018. And it's great. Thank you. I just love it. And a lot of times they don't have any questions. They just say, "Hey, I discovered tonalism because of you, and I really love it, and this is what I'm doing." And I'll always reply. And a lot of the reason why I put this channel up is just to support and promote tonalism myself, because I think it's an amazing movement. And yeah, this is a rambly mic video, but it's only going to be 10 minutes, so don't worry about it. We're moving through it. We're moving through it. Now, another thing I wanted to bring up, and most of you that are gotten this far are people that are reliable, watchers of the channel. I have considered possibly like doing little book reviews and things. If that's something you think you would find interesting, like I've mentioned this book, several books. I couldn't do a short one of the history of American tonalism. I could maybe break it up into a couple different segments, but I have a book on composition. I think it's either Edward or Edgar Payne. That would be, I've often thought that would be a good one to, just, I enjoy comics and things like that. I don't really buy them anymore, but I know a lot about the history of it, and so there's several YouTube channels that I follow where there's an artist that goes through books and points things out, and I thought, no, that's probably maybe that'd be a good addition to this channel. So if you agree, you can drop me an email and let me know, or let me know in the comments, and yeah, maybe we'll do it. Yeah. So, challenges. What I run into on this painting? Well, not a lot. The same challenge I always run into, which is I want a fresh, expressive painting. And every painting is comprised of, hundreds of thousands, probably, of brushstrokes. And there are so many ways to blow it. It's not even funny. And the number one way that I personally have blown it on larger work is usually in the execution. Things get too stiff. Things don't flow, and that didn't happen on this painting, so I'm very thankful for that. And the painting I've done this week, the drawing stage, looks just totally awesome. So so far I'm on a roll, and I'm trying to build positive momentum, you know, and so that would have been the main challenge. Also, I feel like the path itself was a bit of a challenge, but you're seeing some things that I brought it to a certain degree of finish that I thought was acceptable. But when I put this thing back on the easel, that'll be one of the areas where I will push some things a little bit further. And what else would I do with this on the easel? Well, a little more work on that purple tree trunk, which I'm looking at very small in my video program, but you be able to see it quite large. Oh, so sorry. So sorry to yawn. I tried to cover it. Hopefully it didn't make you yawn. You're like, oh, Mike, you're putting us all to sleep, even yourself. Anyway, it's an exciting painting. It's really a nice painting, if I do not say so myself. And I'm always thrilled to share my work with you. Now, oh yeah, this last week I did one that. It's just a weird painting. I was showing my good mate Joe today, pointing it out to him, and it was like it's like an impossible scene to paint. But and in fact, the reference image I had actually thrown away, you know, and then I thought, hey, you know what? I dug it out of the recycle bin, and I thought I'll do a 5x7. I've had this image for over a year, maybe 2 years. I keep passing on it when I'm looking at things that I want to do to make paintings of. Side of a hill, that's already really problematic. Actually, a path going around the bend of a side of a hill with an ocean in the background. It's just a lot of issues, but it's acceptable. It almost looks surrealist. I'll probably share that here. I'm still debating. It's like it's well, there's another thing you let me know about in the comments. I mean, you want to see me fail? You want to see? It's not a full-out failure. It was actually turned out pretty good considering all of the uphill battle, and I really did put a lot of focus on in that video and talking about how I was attempting to design my way out of the impossibility of the scene itself, and I gave it the old college try, you know. Anyway, maybe look for that if you're interested. Maybe if I get a few, yeah, Mike, we want to see the weird painting. That might be all the prompting I need to actually decide to, you know, showing you guys something like this is real easy because I'm super proud of it and I think it looks super great. Showing you guys something that's a little weird, a little funky, not as easy. Definitely not. Anyway, I can see we're getting pretty close to the video, so wide load ahead. There's a big one coming. Stay tuned for that. And until I get back with another video, please do me a favor. Take good care of yourself, your family, all your loved ones. And I'm gonna also just say everyone needs, you know, to chill out a bit and be patient with other people. You know, yeah. Be patient and love your enemies, you know? Why not? Turn the other cheek. All that good stuff. But until I come back from another video, please take good care. Stay out of trouble.